So let's take secondary activities. Secondary activities are the one where industries comes into picture. So whenever we are talking about industries, you should be aware that we are talking about manufacturing. Earlier, industries means, even now we try to see that industries means what? We imagine a big house or big factories where there will be workers going, they will be doing some manual work and they will be coming back. Now you have different sorts of industries which has come up, like tourism industry and all. Their services comes into picture. So here when we talk about manufacturing, manufacturing means producing the goods, correct? So when we talk about any goods being manufactured there, we call it to be manufacturing industry. Earlier industry means there used to be some manufacturing taking place, but now when we use manufacturing industry specifically, we come across entertainment industry, tourism industry, all this, right? So here you have to consider what is called as manufacturing and another one manufacturing industry. The meaning of this is, when I say manufacturing, that means I should be producing some amount of goods. So today entertainment industry is also called as an industry, but that is not under manufacturing industry. So manufacturing industries means where goods are specifically done. So this is what we need to understand when it comes to this particular concept. The second important thing is specialization of skills or methods of production is very important when it comes to industries, where you will use large machines to produce certain things. And then we need to come to mechanization, where human beings will be replaced and they will be used only to some purposes, or wherever they are required only their human beings is used, but usually the entire process will be mechanized. This is what we say mechanization. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence, where robots will usually replace us. Then the important thing is technological innovation is very important. We talk about IPR, patents and others, and all this is also associated with manufacturing industries. Then we need to talk about the organizational structure and stratification, which is also part of these industries. That is, when we say there should be a complex machine technology, that is, say for example, if you have a wooden box and you have to break it into different sizes and use it in different format, then it has to go through multiple stages on its own, and the final product has to come. That is, complex machine technology has to be available. Second important thing, extreme specialization and division of labor. The meaning of this is, say in the beginning, if there are people who can choose the raw materials, they will be doing only that particular work. Later, if you have certain people who will actually cut it into pieces, then they will be doing that throughout. So there is need for specialization and clear division of work. That is, one person should not be doing other person's work. This is very important when it comes to this. Third important thing is, you need huge money because land, buildings, labor, everything has to be paid. Large organization and also bureaucracy. When we talk about government, bureaucracy is required. When we talk about a factory, then an administration is very important. Then we need to talk about the uneven geographic distribution. Industries are not there only at one place, they are present in different parts of the world. So here when we look at this, first thing we need to understand is the access to market. Wherever market is available, there usually some industries will come up because they can manufacture it there itself and give it to the market. Several industries, especially in America, Japan, Australia, they provide large markets, and many companies were actually willing to go there and open their industries there so that they can produce it and sell it there itself. Even in India, you have several manufacturing industries coming up, mainly because raw material, everything is present in India. They come up and set up the market here and they can sell it here itself. So access to market is very important. Today, the densely populated regions of South and Southeast Asia has become important. For some industries, access to raw material is very important. I have already shown you resources chapter, where we have seen clearly that if you want to set up iron and steel industry, raw materials is very important. Second important thing, let us take the sugar industry. You cannot produce sugar anywhere. So if you have sugarcane growing fields here, and it should be at a minimum distance. The company has to be produced, or the sugar has to be produced at a minimum distance. The reason for this is, if transportation usually increases, the sucrose content reduces. So to avoid these things, usually cooperative industries are set up closer to the sugar industries, because based on the need, they know when exactly harvesting has to take place, and immediately after harvesting there should be enough space available so that they can go and actually produce sugar there. So agro processing units has to be kept wherever you have raw materials present. And the third important thing we need to understand is access to labor supply, right? Some industries, for example cotton textile industries, actually require a lot of women employees or employees, as it is labor intensive. So if labor supply is there, you will usually plan to set up there. Information and communication technology services, we will be seeing most of it is present where the skill is usually available. Access to sources of energy. Power is one of the important factor. Today it has reduced because through grid you can reach any part, but earlier it was closer to the thermal power plants alone. Then we need to talk about access to transportation and communication facilities. Today India has set up something called as Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. We are establishing Amritsar-Kolkata Industrial Corridor. We are also setting up East Coast Industrial Corridor. We are also setting up Bengaluru-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, Bengaluru-Chennai Industrial Corridor. All these corridors are aimed at giving transportation and communication facilities to the industries so they can come up there easily. Right? These are the factors which usually try to help us to set up industries. Most importantly, in developing countries like India, Russia and all, government policy is very, very important. For example, when we take the northeastern states, Jammu and Kashmir and Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, which is closer to international borders, where there can be disasters mainly because of environmental conditions, industries will not be ready to set up there. But if government say that in normal places if you set up you have to pay 30% tax, but in Northeast India you have to pay 10% tax, then some industries may be willing to set up at this point. So this is what we say, government policy also helps to set up industries, right? So this is very, very important. At last, there are some industries which usually grow wherever new industries comes up. For example, if you have iron and steel industries, around that you will find lot of automobile and other industries coming up. We call this to be agglomeration economies or link between industries. Then we need to look at footloose industries, a very, very important concept where we need to understand about the footloose industries. That is, here it is not dependent on specific raw material, it is not dependent on weight losing, or it is not dependent on conditions which are required for other industries. So these industries can be placed anywhere, wherever certain basic things are present. So usually they are not polluting industry, software, IT, wherever internet is available they can be set up. So very, very important today, whenever you need to develop industries in those areas which are least developed, you can think of footloose industries. Then we need to talk about the classification of manufacturing industries on the basis of size first. When I talk about the basis of size, household or cottage industries, usually smallest manufacturing unit where few people come together along with their communities, or we can also talk about people, especially one household actually taking up. For example, when we talk about earthen pots, crackers and all, usually this is what we observe. Second important thing is small scale industries which requires less than 1 crore of investment. Some sort of mechanization will be there, but it will give lot of job opportunities. And then you have large scale commercial manufacturing units being set up in developed countries. India also has some of these, especially the iron and steel industries are present in this region. And then on the basis of inputs or raw materials, we call it agro based industries where food processing units are coming up. So you can actually see this. And then you have mineral based industries. So iron ore, aluminium, all this becomes important. Chemical based industries, salts, sulfur, all this, sulfur dioxide, acids, all this comes under chemical based industries. Forest based raw material industries, where the raw materials from the forest are being taken, paper, pulp, lumbering, all this comes under this. Animal based industries, where you are talking about the dairy farming related one. And on the basis of output or product, iron and steel will give machines, whereas textile industry will give clothes for use by consumers. Different industries can be located. Not really required, you just need to look at the examples where these are usually present. And then we need to look at industries based on ownership. If it is managed by the government, we call it public sector industries. If it is managed by private sector, we call it private. And then joint is by both public and private, PPPs comes under this. Traditional large scale industries have high proportion of employment in the manufacturing industry. This only led to huge population, we also have seen, and earlier this was the most important thing. High density of housing nearby, often of inferior type and poor services, because the people whoever is working in this particular industry will be working in the industry itself, and their salaries will be very less. Unattractive environment, pollution, waste heaps, everything will be there, and this is the reason Bhopal gas tragedy occurred at that particular site. There will be problems of unemployment because more migration takes place in this, thinking that they may get some job opportunities. So this is also crucial. And then you have something called as Ruhr coal field in Germany. Traditionally, when I talk about the coal and steel and iron industry, we are actually talking about some places like Ruhr coal field of Germany, right? So here 80% of Germany's steel production is usually done mainly because there is availability of raw materials. And then we also have to talk about the concept of high technology industries. I am going fast in this chapter mainly because in resources book, industries, where all different industries are present, they have clearly given. But in this NCERT, they have given where agriculture is present in different parts. So you need not remember those things much. If you can read the NCERT and underline the points, whichever I am underlining, it's more than enough. But when it comes to concepts, we have explained in detail. Here there is no much concepts. Wherever the points is required, I am just giving you a brief analysis with examples so that it would be easy for you to understand. Then we talk about the high technology industries where innovation is required. IPRs comes into picture, that is patents comes into picture, and the manufacturing usually require high technology, right? This is also very, very important for us. At last, they are talking about the iron and steel industry, and when they talk about the iron and steel industry, distribution in the world is actually given. This we have already seen in USA, Appalachian region, Great Lake region, and in the Atlantic coast some are present. In Canada, around Great Lakes, they are usually present, and it is called as Rust Bowl of US. Pittsburgh area is now losing ground, right? And it is called as Rust Bowl of US because over a period of time new areas come up, and due to other advantages they will be shifted there, right? It's important for you to remember this, which is called as Rust Bowl of United States of America. And then when we talk about the cotton textile industry in different parts of the world, it is being present. India was one of the major cotton or textile producers of the world, but now it is replaced by new textile industries, mechanized textile industries, which has come up in the world, right? UK, USA, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and many countries are actually going for this. You can see India, China, US, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Egypt, they usually produce best quality of cotton. Is it fine? So this is very, very important for us. So guys, please go through the exercises once carefully. That should be more than enough.